I think we've all delved into the weird side of YouTube at least once or twice in our lives, and one of the best ways to do this is through rabbit holes. Surface level videos that seem to have more than meets the eye at first glance. And in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I have found some of the most obscure and odd and weird rabbit holes that YouTube has to offer. Even if you are Susan Wojcicki herself, I will make a bet with you right now, and that bet is that there will be at least one rabbit hole on this video that you would have not heard about before. So we're going to start off with some that you likely would have heard of, and as we get deeper into the video, there are going to be some really obscure and even not safe for work and disgusting ones. I almost vomited in the making of this video, and I'll tell you why later on. So yeah, we'll be delving into the odd, the obscure, the wacky, the insane, and I'm going to give you a list of rabbit holes that you could check out right now if you wished, including the next monkey hate and a nude vegan subculture. So let's get straight into it. I'm so excited to tell you guys what I've found. So the first one I have for you is cats and cucumbers. I think this is kind of the rabbit hole of adorable pet videos, and basically it happens when someone takes a cat, they sneak up a cucumber behind it, and it freaks out. There are videos of cats and cucumbers on YouTube with upwards of 25 million views. The premise is simple. Cats tend to have balls on them, right? But at the end of the day, they are cats, and biology is vulnerable, and at the end of the day, they are kind of afraid of cucumbers. So the science behind this, and trust me, I'm not a scientist, is that cats actually believe that these cucumbers are snakes. At least that's our best guess. And this will kick in some primal instinct within it to jump away, to run away, to get out of there. And even if cats and snakes interacting in the modern day is quite rare, to be fair, humans still have it with spiders. There are very few spiders that we regularly interact with that are poisonous, but humans still freak out when they see spiders. Except for the Aussies, of course. But just like there's something inside of most humans to make them afraid of spiders, even ones like that big, cats have the same for snakes. This is only theorized, of course, and in the comments, it doesn't seem to be anything other than people thinking these are just cute cat videos. YouTube basically started on cute cat videos, and this is just another rendition of them. The next one I have for you guys is potentially the only one that I'm actually a part of, and this is marble runs and marble racing, Marble Olympics. So this is a rabbit hole I've been part of for quite a few years now, and it's not too rare, it's not too uncommon, but it still is a very niche and weird and obscure hobby that a lot of people have, and they put it on YouTube, and some of these videos get millions of views. Other people, on the other hand, seem to be completely unaware that this even exists. So I know it sounds stupid, and it is, but these videos are so interesting to me. So the idea is that these marbles will race with a commentator narrating over the top. Now, logically, we know that these marbles have no personalities, they have no ambition, they are not trying to win, but the commentary makes it seem so much like they do, and it really brings it alive. It just makes it all seem so real. I am a Green Ducks fan, by the way, hashtag Quack Attack. And I personally think, right, the reason why these are so popular is because it's almost like being a child again, where you have to use your imagination to give these inanimate objects personalities, goals, aspirations, and make up storylines for them. Except in this situation, the storylines are being made up for you by the commentators. You don't have to do any of the work. You can just watch them roll down and race each other. This is a rabbit hole that you could easily find yourself falling down, but it is definitely one of the more light-hearted ones in this video, so we're going to move on now so we can sooner get to the dark and the weird, and trust me, there are some really kind of messed up ones here. So cupping has been mainstream for a good few years now. I remember it was the Rio Olympics when I was first made aware of cupping, but since it's hit the mainstream, people have been getting more and more extreme with it. Fire cupping has to be the most extreme form of cupping, and some of these videos can garner up to tens of millions of views. I just watched a video of a man get cupped by about 40 of them, and he looked like a porcupine by the end. And each of those cups was being lit by a fire on a stick. It was mental. So this is the first entry, which is meant to be an extreme form of satisfying videos, and trust me, there are a lot of them. Most people watching these videos are imagining the cupping happening to them, and they find it relaxing somehow. Again, let me say that these videos can garner up to 22 million views. That's the most viewed video I saw, and I think we're all living with back pain, so this kind of video allows us to live vicariously through the participants within it. I'll keep this one short, but it's part of the, I guess, travel and transportation rabbit holes that you might find on YouTube. Tucker Got is the most famous of these channels, but if you just filter in searches by upload date, you can find so many of them each hour uploading similar videos to this. And it's the idea of the Paramotor. So I saw one of Tucker Got's videos where he went to McDonald's in a Paramotor, and what this is it's like a weird parachute, almost blimp type of thing, but instead of it being a big balloon, it's like a fan underneath you. It's kind of like a jetpack with a parachute. So hard to describe. But these people take travel and they put it to the extreme, where basically they'll just sit on a seat and they'll be able to fly wherever they want. And Tucker Gott has an amazing way of controlling his paramotor. He makes it look seamless and simple and easy, but this is a really strange thing that I haven't really seen too much on YouTube. And I know there's a really big market for dump trucks and garbage trucks. There's a really big market for train spotting.
Beautiful 73962, Dick my butt. What a beautiful locomotive she is.
But this is the first I've seen of someone taking to the air and going to McDonald's or a deserted island or anywhere. It truly is the wildest form of transportation and probably the most niche that I've found on YouTube, but if you found something even more niche, do let me know down below. Extreme cheapskates. Let's be honest, it's not too obscure. I'm sure most people here would have seen at least one episode of Extreme Cheapskates. It's kind of a surface level TLC rabbit hole, but let's be fair, TLC is a rabbit hole in and of itself. If you've never heard of TLC before, it is the most blatantly ridiculous reality TV channel. With hit shows such as the 1,000 Pound Sisters, My Strange Addictions, and Extreme Cheapskates, these shows take some of the most extreme personalities and shows their quirks for all the world to see, with some videos garnering upwards of tens of millions of views. I mean, with classics such as Woman Eats More Than 100 Bars of Soap Every Year, and I'm Addicted to Dating Older Women. Much older women. It's no wonder that these videos get so many views. They're definitely some of the more accessible parts of the strange and cursed side of YouTube. So I was doing a bit of research for this video and I took to Reddit to try and find some of Redditors' most weird and bizarre rabbit holes. And what I found was Maya the Polar Bear. Someone said that Maya the Polar Bear was a very good rabbit hole and I decided to check it out. Here's to say, I think I found something that is a little bit further down what you would expect of ASMR in terms of obscurity. It's a rabbit hole itself, ASMR. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on there. It used to be very obscure back in the day, but to be honest, 6 or 7 years later from when the mainstream found out about it, it is quite a mainstay on YouTube. Animal ASMR, on the other hand, is slightly less well known about. And Maya the Polar Bear is an ASMR style video with an animal instead of a human. So from there, I wanted to research more animal ASMR because this is the first I've ever heard of it. So I delved into YouTube and filtered by upload date, which gives you so many crazy, really cool things there. I definitely recommend checking that out, just searching something and then sorting it by upload date because you see so much odd and obscure stuff. And guess what? It is a rabbit hole because there are so many smaller, more niche channels that do just the same thing. There are blogs that do mukbang ASMRs. There are guinea pigs that do ASMRs with little carrots and strawberries and they get their mics and put them right there. And I've seen compilations of animals doing mukbangs, and of course mukbang and ASMR kind of go a little bit hand in hand. A lot of the time there are mukbang ASMR videos, and the ones that I was able to find are very sloopy and sloshy, I would say. That's how I would use to describe them. I'm sure this might be news to a few of you, and I'm also sure that a few people already know about these animal mukbangs and animal ASMRs. So I'm going to move on to the next rabbit hole I have for you, and that is Mike Rowe. So a lot of you might be wondering, who is this Mike Rowe guy? Is he a YouTuber? Far from it. Mike Rowe was a host on QVC, and just in case you don't know what QVC is, it's a telemarketing business. It's on TV all the time. They do 24/7 live streams, I guess. They're always live and they're always selling household appliances, makeup, kitchenware, anything you could really want to buy, they will probably have it. Now, I personally haven't seen or heard from QVC in years now, absolute years, but this Mike Rowe guy predates when I knew about QVC. In fact, he actually predates me and most people watching this video. This man was hosting QVC back in the early 1990s, and for some reason, I am not entirely too sure why, when he was hosting it, people would record their VHSs, and then 20 years later, they would upload the clips of Mike Rowe onto YouTube. And once again, for some reason, I don't know why, these videos were viewed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions at times. These are 30-year-old recordings of a man selling dolls and kitchenware, and inexplicably millions of people want to see him do it. Now, I've poured through a few of the videos myself and I've seen that this guy is quite sarcastic. He tends to undermine the entire premise of this show, which is selling people stuff.
The lamp is a little warm, not unlike lava. Precious moments. Hope your day is full of them. Perhaps these little figurines would add a bit more preciousness to your day.
He's cracking jokes, he's making wiseacre remarks and stuff, and he's funny, but at the end of the day, he was undermining the show. But the fact of the matter is, millions of people are watching him sell stuff from the 1990s in the 2020s, and I bet you a bunch of people that are watching these weren't even born back in the 80s, 70s, or 60s. I bet you a bunch of them were in the 90s, or the 2000s, or the 2010s, and I don't know why they're doing it. And this leads me into the idea that there is an entire rabbit hole of TV shows and clips and movies from back in the day that their studios have gone under, or they just don't care enough, and they will upload, or someone else, a third party, will upload clips and entire episodes of those shows to YouTube. And some of these shows, especially the pilots, will garner hundreds of thousands, again, if not millions of views. I think we all understand that YouTube in the modern day is a safe haven for all things nostalgia, but this really does take it to the next level because people like this guy so much that 30 years later, they're watching him resell the same items on YouTube. Obviously, they're not for sale, you can't buy them anywhere, but this guy's just cracking jokes and he's selling stuff. A lot of people like it, there is definitely an audience for it. ... emojis. I will give you a challenge right now. Pause this video, don't click off it, open up a new tab, go onto YouTube and type in the search bar ... and then spam emojis. The videos that you will uncover are some of the most obscure and bizarre on the site, and I don't entirely understand the YouTube algorithm. I wouldn't have 30,000 subscribers if I did. And ... emoji is a testament to how little I really understand, because for some reason, again, I don't know why, these are some of the wildest videos that are very rarely, if ever, recommended to you. They tend to have extreme subject matter and crazy thumbnails, but I've never seen any of these videos recommended to me, despite the fact that most of my YouTube searches are quite cursed. I don't really have too much to say on this concept because every spam of emojis is personalized, so you're going to find different things to what I find. But I'd say try it out for yourself and let me know what kind of videos you find down in the comments. So sometimes you think you know everything there is to know about YouTube, and then you will stumble upon a channel with millions of subscribers and doubt everything you've ever known. For me personally, Steve1989 MRE Info is one of those examples. When you're a small channel, you're told to niche down, to find your niche and to completely exploit it, right? Steve's niche is food reviews, but he takes it a step further than most food reviewers. Food reviews are nothing new, but he really does do something unique with it. Think of him as similar to Ashens, though from what I've seen, he doesn't tend to crack as many jokes.
There's some sort of props left over from one of the Alien movies coming out, I think.
And while Ashens acknowledges the absurdity of the food that he sometimes eats, this guy gives a Report of the Week style review of army rations. Specifically army rations from the Vietnam War, the Korean War, World War II, World War I, any war that has been fought, this guy will take some of the rations and he will just eat them, and somehow he knows all of this really in-depth knowledge of what soldiers would do. He'd be like, oh yeah, they'll take their biscuits and they'll dip them in this type 2 coffee or something. How he knows all of this information is completely unbelievable to me. His reviews are incredibly in-depth and technical. He notes on like the umami flavors of, I don't know, pizza or something. It's mental. He can detect small flavors that even Anton Ego wouldn't be able to uncover. He has a very sharp palate, and his knowledge of food and also the military really go hand in hand. Here's the thing though. Who is watching these? I understand you might have a couple history students, maybe even a few veterans or people that might be in the army, but this man has 2 million subscribers and he has over 100 videos that have more than 1 million views. Up until researching him, I have never heard of his channel, I've never had one of his videos recommended to me. This man, as far as I was concerned, did not exist on YouTube. Fair play to the man, but the reason why people watch this really does intrigue me. I'd love to hear if he had anything to say about it. But it's just my question, who wants to see a guy eat 80-year-old military rations? It's just crazy to me that the general populace would want to click on a video called 2016 Brazilian Navy 24-hour MRE ration alternative combat (RAC) meal review ready to eat taste test. That might be the most niche title I've ever heard, and just my question is, who's looking for these? This rabbit hole of niche hobbies is so wild to me, and again, they're only going to get nicher from here. So I'm going to take this part of the video to really delve into those niche hobbies, and I want to hear from you guys down below, out of the next 2 entries, or even the one prior to this, even the army rations, which one to you is the most niche. So I'll go through the next 2 and then I will ask you once again. So the next one I want to talk about is collecting plastic chairs. I still can't believe there is a market for this, but apparently there is. People collect plastic chairs and put it on YouTube, and you might think that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10 videos on plastic chairs. No. Let me assure you that there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of videos dedicated to reviewing plastic chairs. Plastic chairs that were in circulation 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 years ago. Plastic chairs that are white, green, blue, grey, navy. Any plastic chair that has ever existed has probably been reviewed on YouTube. And let's be fair, most of these videos don't get too many views, but some of them literally have hundreds of thousands. Again, fair play to the creator of these videos. He seems genuinely passionate about plastic chairs, and I don't have the ability to communicate the feeling that I get about it. It's not cringe, it's not joy, I think it's just confusion, but also like fair play to him. It's like a happy confusion. I don't want to crap on anyone for their hobbies because, let's be fair, like the small amount of hobbies we have are some of the only sources of joy that we have in this dark, dark world. But it's just a wild thing to see a guy dedicate his life to collecting hundreds of plastic chairs. And the comments in the comment section are often genuinely interested. It's not just one guy. There seems to be an entire community of people who want to see this man collect more plastic chairs. There are some people that are so far down this plastic chair rabbit hole that this content is exhilarating to them. And I don't have the words to comprehend how niche that is to me, and I'm sure to you. So yeah, that's one of the most obscure hobbies, and now I'll get onto the other one, and again, I want you guys to let me know down below which one to you is more niche. So in the same vein, I want to talk about Tory The Fan Man, who is similar to the chair reviewer in the fact that most of his videos don't really get too many views, but some of them will get hundreds of thousands. So he collects fans, predominantly ceiling fans, but even some of the ones that you might just want to put down there and, you know, fan out the room. And again, some of his videos get hundreds of thousands of views. 300,000 people, including myself, have watched one of his videos in which he turns on every single fan in his home, and it's dozens, man. It's got to be about 100 fans, and that's just the ones that he wants to turn on in that video. I've seen him do reviews for a bunch of other fans that he didn't even include in that video. Again, I'm not trying to criticize. Fair play to him for having a hobby that he so passionately cares about. It's just that I wonder why he or the chair guy or army ration guy have such a passion towards these generally mundane things. This dude uploads daily, giving ratings and reviews for every single plastic fan, and I just don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. Again, if he enjoys it, that's awesome, and I really do appreciate it. But I watched this man give a 5-minute review to a fan. I couldn't talk about this guy for 5 minutes if I tried, let alone him giving a 5-minute review to a single fan. And he knows everything there is to know about it. He knew the company that made it. He knew that that company changed its name in like 2006 or something. He knew the year that he bought the fan. He knew why he bought it. I mean, he was giving such technical responses to a single fan. Once again, this man has a bunch of, dare I say it, fans who will click on his videos and comment and give him some love and support, which fair enough, you know, awesome. If you guys do decide to go to his channel, do give him love and support, as well as the chair guy, as well as anyone that I mentioned in this video by name. So this is pretty obscure stuff, at least in my opinion. Not too dark or disturbing, but definitely obscure. However, from here on out, things are going to get darker. I'm going to have to censor a lot of the videos that I put up because they're simply not good for YouTube guidelines, and there's a lot of videos that were up and I saw them and I was like, this should not be here. So the first of those is rat trap videos, and this is what I was referring to earlier when I said the new monkey hate. I understand that rats can be annoying. They are pests and sometimes you have to get rid of them. However, the methods that some people have gone to build devices to kill these rats are psychopathic in my opinion. I've seen some deranged animalistic saw traps. Some people in the comments as well are commenting some awful things, and I understand if you don't like rats, but you shouldn't be taking pleasure in seeing them get decapitated or chopped in half, or stuck to glue traps for hours on end. And I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments down below saying I'm a pussy or some shit like that, but let me tell you right now, if you take pleasure in seeing these rats get hurt or tortured, I think you're a psychopath. This is a rabbit hole that really bums me out. I saw a video of a snake eating 6 live baby mice. I understand that this is just nature. Predators have to eat prey to stay alive. I understand that. But some of this seems to just be glorifying killing animals, and it's up to YouTube to take it down, which it does not do. These videos should not be recorded for millions of people to see because there's nothing educational in them. Everyone knows that snakes eat mice. We don't need to see 6 little baby mice trapped in a little container with a snake coming at them. It's horrifying, and in my opinion, it's horrible. But let's talk about a different rabbit hole, which is much different and a little bit more positive. This is nude cooking. So I think most of us might watch some sort of cooking content on YouTube, whether it be binging with Babish, or Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, or, I don't know, Mark and Ethan cooking with sex toys. Cooking content is not new on this platform. However, what is new to me is nude cooking. I have never been on this side of YouTube, so this is new to me, but there is so much to talk about here.
Welcome back to your favourite waste-free cooking show, Go Naked at Home.
Unlike a lot of these, I understand why these videos get millions of views. I think we all do, right? Sex sells. And there would obviously be an audience for this. This might even be a kink to some people. Some of these videos have tens of millions of views, and I'm talking full frontal nudity in the thumbnails. However, most videos that I have seen are not sexual in any way. I mean, obviously the comments are, they use a lot of double entendres, but most of the videos I have seen are not in a sexual nature. As it turns out, a lot of nudists love to cook, and most of them tend to be cooking vegan recipes. So it just seems to me that nudists want to do cooking shows. And I touched on the replies before, but
I think we should read the comments.
splendid! Just splendid cooking! Amazing. What beautiful content. You are sex. Nangi filmin'. Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying that some of the comments here are creepy. It comes with the territory. And as I touched on before as well, most of the content here is vegan cooking, and I wonder if there is something about being a nudist and being a vegan that goes hand in hand. Are you more likely to be a vegan if you're a nudist, or vice versa? I think so, because it's all about nature and being natural, right? Obviously not all vegans are nudists and not all nudists are vegans, but there tends to be a larger proportion of vegan food and cuisine in these nude cooking shows than you would see in actual society. Either way, they are out there if you ever want to search them up, and I don't know if I should be recommending them to you, but I'm just making it known to the general public that these cooking shows do exist. So the next one is quite grim, and I'm gonna have to blur it. If you dare look it up, that is on you, but I'm going to have to brand this a do not research because it's so grim. And here's what it is. Tonsil stone removals. So if you've never heard of tonsil stone removals, let's just flash back to my Do Not Research Iceberg Revisited, and I spoke about them. I did not mention that they could be removed, I don't think, but yes, they can, and this kind of goes more into the satisfying videos column. This is probably as far down as you can really get, except for one more, which we will get to in due time, but just like acupuncture or like chiropractor videos, or like those videos where people go into each other's ears and stuff and scrape all the wax out. This is probably the most extreme version of that. Again, -1, which we'll get to in a sec. So basically what this is that some people will get a buildup of food particles and saliva and just general waste in the back of their throats, right by their tonsils, and eventually these will calcify and become stones. Most of the time this is fine. Usually you can deal with it yourself. You just need to gargle with salt water, or you just need to brush them out or something, and if you let it get out of control, you will have to go to the doctor to sort it out. And this is where the videos come in, because some doctors will attach little cameras onto the tools that they use, and these videos are basically the POV perspectives of those little cameras going into people's mouths and scraping away all the tonsil stones. I don't have much more to say on that. It is very grim, as is human biology. I mean, we're just disgusting creatures, aren't we? But it is not something that I would recommend looking up. Again, do not research, but if you do, that is on you. I'm taking no part of it. I think I have to talk about the #1 most obscure, most down the rabbit hole satisfying video that I could find. It is Mangoworm Removals. And as soon as you hear worm removals, you already know it's going to be grim. And this is the video that I almost vomited. I've never almost vomited in the entirety of me doing 97 videos now. I have never almost vomited, but I definitely gagged when I saw the wrong part of one of these videos. So allow me to give you some context. In Africa, there are these things called mango worms. And basically, if there is some freshly hatched larva where a dog is lying down, rolling around, or digging in, the larva may attach to the dog and then burrow under its skin, eating it from the insides out. It goes without saying that this is dangerous, so people take their pet dogs to the vet and have them squeeze them out. And then a ton of people decide to video them getting removed, upload it to YouTube, and some of these videos get millions of views, and it is the most squeamish, gross thing I've ever seen. I mean, even thinking about it right now, I am about to retch. And earlier, I thought the tonsil stones were grim. These are way, way worse. But just like tonsil stones, I've ascertained the information that people find squeezing maggots out of dogs to be satisfying. And I'm sorry, but this has to be the furthest down the satisfying videos rabbit hole goes, right? There can't be anything more disturbing or gross than this. If there's anything grimmer, let me know down in the comments, but this has to be it, right? Well, that's not it for this video because I still have another entry for you, and it might not be as disturbing or as gross as squeezing maggots out of dogs, but it's definitely strange. Now, I'm not going to name any names here because I don't want you guys snitching on me like you did in the disturbing TikTok video. However, I am under the impression that there is just a very small community here on YouTube that like to drink their own urine. They live stream talking about drinking urine and why it is good for you. I've heard people cite health reasons, religious reasons, it helps them improve their psychic abilities, it makes them feel more connected to the earth. They've even gone and written books about the matter. Now, I will state on the record now that I will not be in the future ever drinking my own urine if I have a say in it. Regardless of the potential health or religious or psychic benefits it may give me, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna judge these people, and I should also mention that the people making these videos themselves also do not like the taste of their urine. They bypass the taste, they don't like it. It's just a necessary evil to get to the end goal. Additionally, I've not found anyone who does it for sexual reasons. It's not because it tastes nice, it's not for sexual reasons, it's just because it might enhance something about them, whether it be their health or their spirituality, or again, their psychic abilities. Now, if you want to go and drink your own urine, be my guest, but you have to admit that to the average person, it is a bit odd. It's very unconventional, and out of the spiritual healthcare community on YouTube, this has to be the most deep depths of the rabbit hole, right? This has to be it. There is no way that people are going any further than this. So that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, please do subscribe. We are building this channel from the ground up, and it would be lovely to have you on board. I have a Twitter account, I have an Instagram account, I have a Discord, and I have a Patreon. It would be great for you guys to send me some love over there. Join them, follow them, support them. And apart from that, please let me know down in the comments what you'd like to see me do next, because I'm only 97 videos in and I'm already out of ideas. Thank you for watching.